What's going on YouTube? JJ here, and this is gonna be a pickups video, and these pickups, which I have right next to me, are ones that I've gotten in the last month and a half. Now, within that time period, I was in the States and I have gone out game hunting since my return from that trip. So that's what this video is gonna be all about. So just kick back, relax, and let's get this unboxing, let's get this pickups underway. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the Super Nintendo, but I just wanna say this. At my home, or my parents' home, I have a fairly large collection. Well, it's kind of dwindling now, and I took a few things in for trade simply because I have the Japanese equivalents, and I don't really care for a few of those things. You know, I got rid of Sega Genesis, Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, and 3. I have numerous copies of that stuff, and that's how I was able to afford a lot of this stuff. But anyhow, the first pickup is Earthworm Jim on the Super Nintendo, and I freaking love this game. And I want to say even more so than the Genesis one. Now, you could argue that the Genesis one is a little bit more fleshed out, but it's something about this one, particularly the music, that I like a lot more. And it's the one that I grew up playing, so there's gonna be a little bit of that nostalgic factor into it, but super happy to have Earthworm Jim. Now, this one is actually kind of pricey here in Japan, you know, sometimes going for over 20,000 yen. But the next pickup is Killer Instinct. Now, if you saw the video that I did at Sunken Treasure Games, that's where I picked up this copy. I popped it in and it works. I did a couple rounds, but I have not yet beat it. But super happy with that pickup. And then I have another one. Now, this is one that I've been wanting for quite some time. It wasn't a priority, but again, I had some trade-in credit, which by the way was 580 bucks, and it's Sunset Riders. Now, as you can see, I have the price here. It's coming in at 119. That could be, you know, maybe I got definitely overpaid, possibly, but a lot of my shopping is just done. I want to say 70% of the things that I buy are just at shops, and then the other 30% is going to be online. But, you know, I was playing through this one, and I'm definitely happy to have it. And I believe this was not released for the Super Famicom, but that's going to be Sunset Riders. Now, this one, oh gosh, this is The Illusion of Gaia. Now, I picked this one up at Video Game Wizards. You can see the price here, 99 bucks. It is complete, and this is one, well, first of all, I never played back in the day, back in the heyday of the Super Nintendo, A Link to the Past. But Illusion of Gaia, I rented this at American Video out in my hometown. And man, this is one that I have fond memories of, and I'm looking forward to playing it. Now, the Japanese version is gonna be, you know, it's gonna be less money than what I paid for, but you know, this one's gonna be fully in English, although the Japanese one has a beautiful cover. But I'm super excited. I definitely wanna replay this and get it to it. But surprisingly, typically when I buy a game, I boot it up right away just to make sure that it is working, but I haven't done that with this particular copy. Now, the next one I picked up at Surugaya. Now, I released a couple videos on the Surugaya out in Yokohama, and this is one of my pickups, which is Super Valis, or Super Valis 4. And this one has some good music, y'all. And as you can see, I paid 4,800 yen. I hope you could see that. And now some of my games, let's see if it'll focus here. They're not gonna be in the best condition, but you know, that's okay. But having a great time with this one. I also have it on the PC Engine, the CD-ROM format, CD-ROM to be exact. But I don't know, something about the music in this one. I think this one is definitely a stripped down version compared to the PC Engine version, but definitely a good one. And I almost beat it. I got a game over, but you know, that's what, you know, I haven't played the game before, but this one will be in the books pretty soon. And then I have Mickey's Quest 3. This was a pretty good one. I've been wanting this one for a while, and I think what I like about this one is that it has all the old and new price tags. And I picked this up at Wonder Goo. Now, Wonder Goo focuses a lot on current generation machines, you know, video games, consoles, handhelds, and all that good stuff. but they will have a small section of retro games. So if you're in Japan, if you're gonna be game hunting, you know, definitely check out Wonder Goo, definitely worth it. And I often feature Wonder Goo both on, you know, my YouTube channel, but also on Instagram. But I played like the first, I'm gonna be honest, I played like the first few minutes, and this is one that it's gonna be a while before I get to it, but it's one that, you know, look at this cover, you know, and part of the appeal here is that I want to get all of the Capcom releases for the Super Famicom. You know, they look beautiful with their spines there. But Mickey's Quest 3. Now we're gonna switch gears here, and this is my, actually no, I have another one, but I have two Sega Genesis Mega Drives pickups. The first one is Rocket Knight Adventures. Now this was like the little thumbnail cover to my first Surugaya Yokohama video, which was released a few days ago. Now this is missing the manual, but man, I'm looking forward to this one. But this is, I'm gonna be honest, this is more about like owning it because of that cover art. I do have the American version, and I did bring my American copy, which is complete in the box, with me. So this is a case of like double dipping. Now, this doesn't have the manual, but that's something that I can source later. And I think there might be a few regional differences. I believe 8-Bit Joystick covered something on that. I believe this one is more accessible, and I think the North American version, what he was saying, was more difficult. But super happy to have this one. And the other one, actually, let me go get it. All right, y'all. I gotta make sure that I'm not slouching, but now this one, this was a top priority for me during my trip out to the States, and it's gonna be the Adventures of Batman and Robin. Now this, guys, this is kind of like a 2D masterpiece for me. You know, it's like this platforming run and gun, like hardcore adventure. I've never beaten this. I've gotten so close. I got to like the cat boss, and I always game over there. But now that I have a copy, well, you know, I have it on a multi-cart as well as on an EverDrive, but I want to do it the right way. Not that I use like save states or anything, but I'm looking forward to this, and I'm so happy to have this in the collection. Now this, typically for the kind of collector that I am, I would want this complete in the box, but this is straight business here. We're gonna get things done. And yeah, this I'm hoping to beat this sometime this year. And currently I'm playing more Super Famicom, Super Nintendo, but this is the priority, man. Actually, I have another Super Famicom pickup, but I'm just starting to remember all this. But anyhow, I'll get that towards the end if I remember. Let's just continue here. I got this controller. Check this out. Now, this is the price. Now, this came from the hard off junk section, and I'm gonna turn it on. It'll probably turn on the switch, but who cares? And as you can see, look at this light show. Look at that, 10 bucks. But the problem, which there is a problem, and why it was probably in the junk section, sometimes I'll be playing like in the zone, and it'll like freeze, not the system, the controller, and then I have to hit this button back here to resync it, and then things will be all gravy. So I have to be careful with this one, but it's pretty cool. Now on Amazon Japan, this goes for about 3,000 yen, but I don't know, maybe if I could like update the firmware, I need to look into that. But on the topic of Switch, this was another priority, man. We have the Cowabunga collection. Now I paid 35 bucks for this. And yeah, what's there to say, man? I mainly got this for the arcade games, but you know, having all those other games and all those bonuses, like all that extra artwork in this collection, this is the way it's done, and I'm super happy to have the Cowabunga in the collection. The Cowabunga collection in the collection. Speaking of collections, I finally got the Master Collection of Metal Gear Solid. Now guys, this marks probably like the 50th time that I purchased like some form of like Metal Gear game, and no regrets, man. With the recent updates, you know, this is gonna look really pretty. I also had the HD collection on the PlayStation 3, but really happy about this. And I think one thing that I'm gonna focus on is beating the original Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 in the form by way of this this release here. Now I did pop it in, I have it all installed, and it'll be waiting for me. Now here's another one. Guys, this one, this has been on my hit list for years. Now, it's not in the best condition, and I paid crazy money for it. Again, I got this at Retro Game Trader. and I used my my store credit to pay for this, but it's Outrun 2 or Outrun 2006 Coast to Coast. Now I have Outrun 2, which I picked up at a Goodwill many years ago, and I have the Japanese version. There's small regional differences, and now I have this one. Now the curious thing about this one is that this one is region free, so it'll work on an unmodified OG Xbox, whether it's the Japanese one or the North American one, and perhaps the European one as well. But I've already put in a few hours into this, and the only Outrun 2-esque game that I'm missing is a physical release of the PSP version. After that, I'm gonna have them all, and really happy about this one. But if you haven't played this, guys, what are you waiting for, man? You gotta play this. Beautiful game. Now, this next game, I'm so guilty of this, and I know I'm not the only one. It's I'm a double dipper, and that's what I did here. Reckless, the Yakuza missions. Now I have Double Steel. I have the Japanese version, but I wanted to hear the voices in English. You know, the other one has its charm. It's all in Japanese, but this one is so goofy. It's so over the top. And it's just a game where you're like driving around, completing like little missions. You're in the like little parts of the city, and you're just causing like havoc. And you're the cops, and you could also play as the bad guys. But I highly recommend this. And I recommend the Xbox version. Now, I believe this was released on the PlayStation 2, maybe on the GameCube, I don't know, but I can definitely vouch for this one. Now, it has to be said, if you have a North American Xbox version 1.6, if you try to play this in 480p, it's gonna give you scrambled video, so you're just gonna have to output at 480i. If you have another variant of, 1.1, whatever, anything that's not 1.6, you're gonna be in good hands. Now we're gonna switch over to the PS2. Let me show you this pickup. Now this was like last week. Check this bad boy out. Look at that. Now it has lost a little bit of its original brilliance. It's a little bit off-white, but this is a PlayStation 2. This is the 50,000 model. Now it didn't include this, the stand. I had this separately, but this was 2,000 yen, which is what, like 15 bucks, 14 bucks. And it loads every single disc, although I will admit, for like PS1 discs, it's a little bit slow loading initially, but then after it gets going, it's purring like no other. But I don't know. The PS2, such a great handheld, such a great console, and I have so many of them. And I'm gonna be doing a video of stuff that I'm gonna be selling off. Not that I'm gonna be auctioning it off. I can't even speak. On the channel, I usually just take my stuff to like local game stores, but it's kind of nice to see what we're getting, but also what we're getting rid of for the purpose of, just making room for more stuff. But that's a PS2. Let's go to the PS2 games. I got Fighting Jam. Now I have this one digitally, and this is also a part of the Capcom Fighting Collection Volume 2. But I want this physical format, and I want it on the PlayStation 2. It's also on the original Xbox. And the original Xbox, the Japanese version, beautiful cover art. But this was 900 yen, and I already beat it. I mean, it's a fighting game, right? But not the best fighting game, but it's one that, it's a good one. It's the Sega Classics Collection. Now, this has also been on my hit list for quite a long time, specifically for two games. Outrun, the little remake, and Virtua Racing. And as you can see here, you can see the game list. I found this at almost every single shop in Portland, and it was averaging between $12 and $15. I got it at Retro Game Trader with my credit, and I ended up paying, let's see if you can see there, I ended up paying 23 bucks, but man, sometimes it happens, and it's currently in my North American PS2. But such a great collection. I already, I played through Outrun for a few hours. I almost beat Golden Axe. Golden Axe is a little bit rough, but I'm such a huge fan of Golden Axe that I'll forgive it, and I'll at least give it the time to play it. And of course, I was getting down on Virtua Racing, but really cool collection. Now here's another one. Man, I'm all about that Sega. Check it out. the king of Route 66. Now, this is kind of like a quasi type of sequel to 18-Wheeler Pro Trucker, which I love that game. I have it on the Dreamcast. But look at this cover. Look at that little foily cover. Again, I got this at Retro Game Trader. I paid, where is it? Let's get it up in there. I paid $29. I played the first few minutes, and I'm definitely going to give it its due, but super happy about this one. And then this one, guys, how many times have you sold off a game and then you rebuy it because you regret it? Well, that's the case with me with this specific release, which is R-Type vinyl. This was another one that was kind of, it was like a mid priority, not a super priority, but I paid $29 for it. But R-Type vinyl, I never beat it, but I'm gonna remedy that situation, and I will beat it this time around. But I'm a huge fan of the R-Type series, and this is an essential piece to that collection. But R-Type, definitely love that, guys. It's gonna get crazy. Believe me, it's gonna get crazy. Now this one, this is a major purchase and a major pickup. Now the Sega Saturn, I grew up with that thing. I had that before I had a PlayStation 1. And it's one of my all-time favorite machines. And I got Hyperdual. Look at that. Hyperdual on the Sega Saturn. This is one of the more pricier titles. I got it at a book off in Yokohama, so stay tuned for that video, but check out the price there. 45,000 yen. Dang, that's some crazy money, y'all, but I popped it in. I almost beat it on the first go. And beautiful looking game. Is it worth it? I don't know. For me, yes. For you, I don't know. This is essential. And I'm trying to finish out my Sega Saturn collection, and I'm getting very, very close. And it's a curated collection. None of this complete set type of business. I was gonna say nonsense, but for some of you, it is important. But anyhow, PC Engine. I'm a huge PC Engine fan, and I picked up Wonder Boy 3 Monsters Lair. I picked this up at Mandai Shoten, which I covered on my Instagram account. But I popped this in, man. Beautiful music, and I got about like halfway. I don't know how many stages there are, but I got to like the beginning of the fourth stage, and then I got a game over. But really look at that beautiful cover, man. And I feel I got a deal for 1,800. Sometimes we get deals, sometimes we overpay, and sometimes we don't get anything. Anyhow, the next one, Angel Eyes. Now, this one I featured, this was featured in the Yokohama video that was just released, as a matter of fact, the one previous to this video. But 7,400 yen, this is a fighting game, and it's a cool fighting game at that. Now, it's available on the arcade, PS1 obviously, and then the arcade version was released as a part of Hamster's Arcade Archives. And I highly recommend you check it out if you're into fighting games. Now, it is available on the Switch, I believe the PlayStation 4, but I'm not sure about the other platforms. But definitely a cool game, very quirky, but it is polished. I want to say it is polished. You can get into some hardcore matches with that one. Now, here we have Bomberman Fantasy Race. Guys, this is a weird game. I like Bomberman. I'm a fan of the Bomberman. It was 900 yen, and that was part of the reason. And it also had the Obi card. When the price is right, it has the Obi card, I'm willing to try it out. Now, I was playing it, and I don't know, I wasn't really like feeling it. I'm still gonna give it some more game time. But this one might be one that just comes and goes from the collection, but for the most part, the sentencing hasn't been, it's not at 100% yet, but there we go. Oh, and this is another one, Sonic Wings 2. Now this one, I paid 5,000 yen at Mandai Shoten, or 5,500 yen. I got the receipt there, as a matter of fact. Well, right now it's in the Neo Geo CD because I was playing it, and I got Art of Fighting 3 there. But the reason I got this one is for something that, and I know I'm not alone here, is the coveted Obi card. Look at that, such a sucker for these things. I had a copy of this game, but I got rid of it because I didn't have the Obi card. But now I have the Obi card, and yeah, I was playing it like 2 nights ago, and gosh, the Neo Geo CD. Now I have a CD-Z, and even that's not like super fast at loading, but this game is really good, man. I also have part 3, but I haven't beat this one yet, and once I beat this one, I'm gonna dive in head deep into part 3. Anyhow, the next pickup, Police Knots for the 3DO, 1,200 yen. This came from Mandai Shoten. This is a Kojima Hideo game, originally for like the PC 98, and this one has like reworked graphics. So that original release is gonna have its charms. This one is gonna have its charms. The PS1 and the Sega Saturn is also gonna have its charms. But I popped this in, and man, it feels like a movie. And the music, excellent music, man. Speaking of music, I got this, the Ridge Racer original soundtrack, published by Victor for $16.50, man. I'm a huge fan of Ridge Racer. As a matter of fact, I should probably include my digital pickups, which was Virtual On the PS3, and Ridge Racer on the Switch by Hamster's Arcade Archives. Although they raised the price, man. It's now in yen, it's 1,500 yen, and I believe it's $15 if you're in North America. And typically this stuff is like $8 or less. But anyhow, I'm not gonna complain too much, but really happy about this soundtrack. Now, the last of my pickups are actually not games, they're movies, but I have Akira. This is the 4K release. I also picked up volume 1 of the manga, but look at this, I haven't popped it open yet. Now, I have this on Laserdisc, and I also have the original like Blu-ray release, but I want it on 4K, man. And then, oh, this is gonna be good. If you know, in the States, if you go to Barnes and Noble, they're having like crazy discounts. Crazy, I don't know if they're going out of business or what, but here's one, The Panther Women. Guys, I have to indulge in these kinds of movies. Now, this is a film from Mexico, and it was 30% off, and this is by Powerhouse Films. And look at that cover, man. And I was watching a little bit of it, but I gotta get some popcorn because that one's gonna be good. Here we go. I'm a huge David Lynch fan. I got Lost Highway. But it's a little bit bittersweet. I freaking love this movie. I also have it on Laserdisc, but it's not the 4K release. It's just the standard Blu-ray. And they had it at Barnes & Noble, discounted 20%, but I got this one from Amazon.com. But what I did get at Barnes & Noble, which is the final pickup, is David Lynch's Blue Velvet. Freaking love this movie. Now, this is the 4K release. Although, oh God. Although, like, you see that? Look at that. I gotta cover my eyes, yeah. The corners, they're all bent. I'm a little sour about that, but whatever. Man, if you haven't seen this movie, it's definitely not for kids, but ooh, highly recommended. But anyhow, guys, I'm hoping to do more, you know, just kind of mix up the content here, just to spring some old life into the channel. But those are the pickups. Digital pickups, yeah, I had Virtual On, Ridge Racer, and I had one more, Kyun on the PlayStation 1. I think I'm pronouncing it right. It's a shooting game. Physical format, it's like 30,000 yen. I paid 600 yen. The Japanese PlayStation Store has a number of shooters that are super expensive in their physical formats, but if you just want to play them, which is what I wanted to do with Kyun, I highly recommend that. But anyhow, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you for checking it out, and definitely more is on the way. Stay tuned. Ciao. Actually, I lied. It's not over. It's that one piece of hardware that I forgot. But it's what is this? The Super adapter, because I brought my Super Nintendo, but I didn't bring the AC adapter, and the Super Nintendo, the North American version, has a different like connection for the AC adapter, which is bogus. But this thing is gonna allow me to play my, obviously my Japanese games and my North American games without having to remove the cover or making any like physical modifications to either this or that. But as you can see here, look at that. If you hit the eject button, and there is a way to get it out. It just pops right out, but here's the adapter. Come on, focus you. Yeah, and there's the adapter. Very generic, but it gets the job done. But now, that's the end of the video, so stay tuned for more. Ciao.